there's a bunch of different ways to do this. One way to do this is I can lean back. I can literally lean back and fall through. Another way to do that is I can pull my butt in and move into it, right? Another way I can do it is I can just move my core there. What I'd like you to think about this time is the standing leg, the weight, the place that has the weight, which is this leg, from the hip to the knee. I'd like you to think about that thing moving. That thing, this leg here, moving backwards. And that puts your leg to the next one, okay? So it's not the leg that's moving, that's not the free leg that's moving, it's the standing leg that's moving. You're standing on this one, I'm moving that part of the leg backwards and then capturing it with my other foot, right? This moves your core, this stays straight the entire time. As you're moving this one, this mass moves backwards, and then you put your foot underneath you as you're walking backwards, right? That's the motion I'd like you to do with this book in front of you in the beginning, right? Right. So we're on this foot here, and I'm going to lead you going into that back side, right? So think about as I'm moving backwards, that straight part of your leg is what's trying to move your body, and your leg just falls underneath you. Right. So don't move that leg, right? When you're done, you should be in this position. Then I'm going to do the same thing. This leg is going that way. I'm thinking about this leg to go that way. And as I'm moving that leg this way, this leg here, this leg has to come under and fall onto that side. And don't think about moving the free leg. The free leg simply falling where your body is moving. And the more you move that leg, the farther that leg has to move, right? So the leg should be as loose as possible. There is very little stepping with your foot. It's the body that's capturing where that foot is. Make sense? Okay. Hands in front. Weight on this side. We're going to go back. You're going to take a step forward and then side step. We're going to start the female baldosa, the follower's baldosa. Here we go.
Assume I don't speak English and you don't speak English. How do we know we can communicate?
Very good. So visually, what should I see happening? As me as an observer, what should I see happening from the group? The leg moving first?
So that is same for tango. You have to start with
Your standing leg is moving.
I should see this, exactly, I should see your mass, your whole mass is starting to go very little, right? That sense of movement should come from your entire mass moving vertically and then accelerating as you're falling, and the leg is capturing. So I should see this walking being mass moving, leg capturing, mass moving, leg capturing, right? Meanwhile, the book stays in front of you nice and square. We're going to do the timing now to music in a little bit square pattern. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, step, 2, 4, step. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Step, 2, 3, 4, step, 2, 3, 4, step, 3, 4, step, 2, 4, step, 2, 4, step. Good. When you recognize your foot, your trailing foot should be delayed a long time. So on the scale of 1, 2, 3, 4, it shouldn't be moving till 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it's very delayed, and the moment your foot is moving, that's when your body has pulled it to a place that you need to capture that weight movement, right? One of the things I just learned is there's 4 types of steps in tango. This is type 1. This is the first type 1. Okay, try it again. Weight on this side. This in front of you. And here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1. Good. I saw nobody pausing. On the one before that, I saw 1, 2, 3. And this one, I never saw any 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. There was movement all the time. In tango, you rarely actually stop. And so the movement of this, you fully can stop. Fully decision anytime you want to stop. But the movement in tango, once you're thinking through the music, should be always a sort of a walking through that movement. All right, I'm going to add one more layer on top of this. From this step here, if I am leading a follower,
Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time.
does she move directly with me all the time? I'm going to have to tell her something in the beginning that so she senses it. So there's a little bit of a stretch that happens when I'm asking her to go. I haven't moved, but I've said I'm asking her to go. So there's this little stretch of the arm as I am moving my weight. The book hasn't moved yet. The book hasn't done this. The book has said, oh. And then at the end, the book is delayed into it. So the book is just a little bit delayed from the walking. So it'll look like this. Ready? Good. Again, go. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Yep. So I'm going to show you this from this side. Ready? In this case, I'm the leader, right? So as the leader, I'm leading this position. I'm requesting her to come. I'm not pulling her, right? This is a pull, right? This is not a pull. I'm moving back. I've told her that my weight's moving. Then she moves forward into me. The actual movement of the walk happens here. See what I'm saying? There's a little bit of delay. I'm walking, I'm stretching, and then once you relax that stretch, that's what causes the walk to happen.
So even when you're going backwards, you're extending the arm as opposed to contracting the arm.
Well, if I'm going forward, I'm contracting the arm to go forward.
But thank you for asking that question.
I'm going to try. See what happens. It's ever so small. This is a very small thing, but this is a pull. Right? This part of my arm, my whole body is connected with her and she's following me this way. If I extend as I'm walking, right, see how I went backwards, I communicated, and I'm moving. It's only about this much. And then she moves into me, and her movement is what causes me to go. Right, so in this case, I'm extending because that's the direction I'm going. But when I'm going forward,
I am going to add one more thing on your big two.
you see it? So when I'm going this way, I have to tell her which way I'm going. So I'm going to go this way, but she'll go. Now I'm contracting in. Right? So there's two ways to do it, right? But the idea that there's just a little bit of movement here, it's the same thing that we were doing here. It's the same sort of concept. That this part of the body is a little more relaxed than rigid, right? So it should have some flexibility to it so that I can move without her moving, or I can ask her to move into me, and I can move away from her, right? So the idea is not which one is right, but I'd like you to think about that there's this little bit of a push and pull ever so gently between it, and you're not locked together. Lock, 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 lock.
Very clear.
Right?
Just kidding.
But there's this sort of a little bit of stretching that happens.
And then on 3, I'm still facing my partner. On 4, I'm still facing my partner. Now the trick is my 5.
Right? And there's a whole bunch of different ways to do this, but all I want you to get familiar with now is that the book, her, is delayed, until she comes into you, right? That's the initial idea. There's a lot more to this, but the idea here is that as you're moving, that you can't pull her, you can request her to step into you. That was perfect. Yeah, you can see, and don't push her, right? So, right? You're not moving the book. The book is there. I'm stepping away from the book, right?
The book is moving you guys.
Right. Say that again.
It's the book that's moving you. You send it and then you feel the book is leading you.
That's right. Right. It's a hard concept, right? But the idea that I'm asking, and then the book is the one that's saying go. That the book is what I'm leading into. I'm going whoop, whoop, and you can compress or you can pull away from it. But the exercise today is this part of the body, and where she is a stretchable thing. And a stretchable thing can be really big and dynamic. I mean, it can be huge in how you're stretching and doing things. I mean, it can be huge. You can go woo. There's lots to it. Right now, I just want us to get to that you are separating your arm and that the book is actually what's leading you, right? So you're requesting the book to move. The book is moving into you. And the book is what's actually moving. So there's a separation between my request, my movement backwards, and the time that the book has started to move and the time that you move, right? There's a separation of me, book, me.
So there's that full invitation, and then the follower, I have to have a lot of energy.
It depends on the size of that movement, right?
Right.
Right. So and you can see it in dancers, right? So here's
mine in a way.
here's a strict one. This is straight. That's straight.
Right.
You feel that?
Yes, that's going to be long.
Now it's your job. It's your job to accept this.
So everybody may have your attention. William, ask your question again.
Right? So there's a little play of back and forth. It's very small. And on a scale of 1 to 10, that was a 10, right? We'd like to get it much smaller, but it's different than...
Yeah.
You feel it?
Yeah, yeah. That was.
In that one, this is locked. However gentle I am, it's going with me. And the absorption of that one is your ability to sort of move around that, right? I'm going to do it with each person just so you feel it, right? Right? I just want you to put your here. I'm going to just walk backwards.
Okay.
Okay. Put your weight here. Okay. This is straight. That one's straight.
Mm-hmm.
This one is not.
Mm-hmm.
You feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What
know
about
you-
the side?
Side one's harder.
Yeah, that's
it is harder because you want to, because if you don't do it right, you get into sort of rotational things. But I'm going to sort of lean that way into that way to get you to go, and then I'm going to follow it. There's another type of step that does the opposite, right? So this is typically what I use for me to go this way. I offer you to go that way, and then I follow you. So I go that way to get you to go that way.
Yeah, yeah, I see.
That's not uncommon,
Yeah.
right? So for me to get that way, I sort of open up that way and then I follow into it. But we're not going to go over that.
Yeah.
Step 2. All right, makes sense. Do you want to feel it? Now this foot. This is the straight way. Okay. This is the stretch way. Right, the stretch is part of that communication, right? And is one small piece of it. There's a lot of pieces of the communication, but the request doesn't move the person, right? So the request is moving and keeping that spot there and then allowing that book to communicate. So grab the book again. Let's go back to Baldo 7. Yeah, once you have you felt it?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to just move the book here, like that. That's flat. This one is not flat.
Oh yeah, I did feel this.
So I can go in towards me, where I'm capturing it, or I can extend, right? Right? This is straight. You feel it? Yep, okay. Take the book, I'd like you to, and so what I'd like to see is the book being stable as you're walking through it, and then the book is what, he said it perfectly, the book is actually what is moving you through that step. So as that book is moving, you're following that book through that movement. But in the beginning, you're just asking the book to move, then the book moves you. So it's this absorption pull, and then allow it to sort of move you. Good. That was good. That was good.
Huh?
You felt it wrong for a second, right?
Yeah.
You felt like you're pushing and you stopped. That was very good. That was beautiful. So the thing to note is that the book never moves like that. The book never does that, right? I have to give it space for that book to move. I've given that space, so there's a little bit of stretch, and the book's just filling back that space, right? So you shouldn't see this or this. The book stays there. I create a little space, stretch, and that's what pushes me into it. Try it again. Try it again. So as it goes back, now if it doesn't move, you can't move. You can't continue.
Well, how is it not going to move? It's attached
Because
to
I'm
me.
holding it.
Okay.
Correct. Very good. Now I'm going to try another exercise with you. I'm going to be the follower. Try it again. No, you hold it. I'm going to be the follower for each of you. If the book doesn't move, you don't get to move. So you're going to attempt to move. Now you're pushing. Don't push me. Correct. Correct. It's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that tempo of ask, receive, ask, receive, ask, receive. And I'm going to do one more exercise here. Let's do it again. Same thing. That's exactly right. So that's the right action. If the book doesn't move, you can't do anything because you haven't received anything, right? It's okay not to do anything. But if you don't feel that walk backwards,
Feel it in.
well, you're leading it. I want you to.
Oh, okay.
As I said.
Good. Try it again.
You have a question when you
Good.
try, but
Try to do a back.
I'm
Do a
guessing
back step.
solve the question. Okay, switch partner.
See how you're pulling me? I want you to lean back, but the book stays here. That's better. Try it again. Closer, even smaller. See how can you feel me? Can you feel it pulling? Let me do it to you. Watch. Ready? See how I give it space? I can feel you pulling, right? Yep, not quite, right? You're not quite there. Try it again. I want you to lead backwards.
Okay.
I can feel it pulling. Shouldn't ever pull on that, right? Exactly. Correct. Right, so the book, you can't ever pull the book.
Right.
Correct. That makes sense? Can you pair up and try that? Right? take one book between you. The idea here is that you're talking through the book, but you can never pull, as a leader, you can't pull the book anywhere. You can request it, but until that leader is sort of touching that, gently moving that book forward, it's not moving it forward at all. You're leading?
I didn't come up with anything yet.
You know how you're pulling there? No, let's switch roles.
Not,
Yeah, I went too soon.
Yeah, good.
And when you all set, when you
So I didn't feel that. I could see it. But good,
Oh, I see, that's straight.
Yeah.
good. Try with it. You felt the straightness, didn't you? Yeah.
All right, so let's switch.
Yeah, switch roles too.
you guys are very nice to me when I say
With the
stop,
front
but
step,
in the middle
it's
when you leave,
I have a difficulty because it's the book doesn't move, but do I go closer to the book or
Mhm.
I do? Okay.
say for like
So I'll do it with here. With her. Watch what I do here. Don't move. Okay.
So the book should not be moving.
we touching while we are doing portion.
And
You're
it's-
lifting the book.
He's bending.
I'm moving forward. I'm changing my weight into it, right?
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
But at some point, she's going to sense that I'm moving forward,
I see. Okay.
and then I move with her, right?
Yeah.
So I can't move this. I can try to move this part of my leg forward.
Mm.
I'm moving in there, but I can't move the book.
Mhm.
Right? It's her job to move the book.
Yeah.
The book moves me.
I see.
Very quick comment, feedback.
Nice.
Of that.
Anybody solve that
All right, let's
problem?
dance.
Or kind of have an approach to address that problem?
Leading her left.
That's also what we discussed when we got. No?
I am trying, when I'm taking the bigger stuff, I am trying to, so there's some amount of difference.
Okay. Change partners. Try it again. You can feel it when. Can you feel it when the book is guiding you as a follower, right? Right? The idea here of this book is it's separating you from the person and the intelligence of the person. It's the book that is moving you, right? And then you're putting your awareness to what your partner has decided. The goal here is for you to understand what your partner has agreed to do, right? The book is to separate you from the person. It's the book that's moving you, and then move to the person. Let's keep the book here, but the idea is to focus on you're communicating this tool. You cannot move the book. The book belongs to her. Just keep on doing baldoses.
At this moment,
That's deep. Then why don't that was very deep. Why don't you lead?
Hey,
Wait, if the book belongs to me, but I'm leading, right? Don't you have to
No,
be
the
holding
lead-
it if you're leading?
So the lead
your button or your
is going to suggest that the book has to move in response. So I can't move the book, I
so real
have to
psychic.
suggest you, for instance, so this be on your left hand, this is square on
I
that.
think that because I don't see the any stretch in the arm
Right, I don't either.
before you go back. Does that make sense? I don't get the invitation.
A little bit, but still was pulling. Try it again. So you're pulling when you're going back.
think about, I always think that
Try to go back.
button and a pendant, because it's not here. It's
See, you're pulling on my finger, right? Don't pull on my finger.
So maybe keep
So move, come closer again.
not too much.
Move closer. Bend, 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 bend. Okay. When you step backwards, don't move the book.
Feel that. And
Good. Try it again. Move closer again. Much closer. When you go backwards.
personally
Good.
address the question because he's
Good. Now, when you move backwards with communication. So you want to move backwards like a stretch. Think about stretching there. Try it again. Move back to here. See, you're moving the book still. My job to move the book. Can you just do this?
Sure.
And I'm gonna ask you guys to observe. because
More?
you
A couple times.
the answer to him. I cannot see
Closer,
it,
closer.
right?
Back. Yep, keep on doing. More. Good. Good. Now, as you're going back, I want you to think about the spring holding you, so you can't go back very far. The farther you go back, the more spring there is. So you don't go back any farther because the spring is holding you here, right? And wait till the book allows you to move forward. Okay, try it again. Come closer. When you go backwards, make sure, feel that there's a spring pulling you back, and then this is what moves you. There. That's a good one. Okay, can we try it with Baldossi in regular closed position now? Okay.
Please.
Yep, put the books away. So closed position, be very aware that your partner's absorbing what you're asking for, and when your partner accepts it, that's what's moving you into it.
And then when you're saying, yes, I accept that invitation. And then the invitation is just that little
And as a
stretch.
follower, when you feel like you have to do more, don't do it yourself. Because with the leader, now, you can play a follower, which means that you're not giving enough for the follower. So, unfortunately,
If I go forward, it's the other way. It's just, I think I'm pushing you.
you're not giving me your contact.
Good. Good. Did that help at all? Does it?
No question on that. Because I know some people are not so comfortable with a hold that is this light. You know, this has
a good question.
This is creating a wider hold for me.
So it's a good question. Let's all come together. It's a really good question, this one. I tend to be very light, right?
Yeah.
But here's the general rule, right? The general rule in when you're embracing somebody is to mirror them, right?
Yeah, the lead mirrors the follow. In this case,
You
or the other
both
way around.
mirror each other.
Okay.
There is nobody in
This
control
is
of
a feedback.
it. Is a feedback loop. The higher you get in tango, the less anybody is actually in control, right? That's kind of, and so if I am putting my hand here, she's putting her hand here. If I'm pushing here, she is pushing here. If I'm pulling out this way, she's pulling out. We're sort of always communicating whatever it is. I don't command tight embrace,
Right.
except in intermediate, beginning and pre-intermediate, as we're learning through lessons, or we're doing lessons, I'm trying to learn how to do that. But as a Malanga, I don't ever decide what the embrace is. I offer, right? And then wherever she goes, I'm going to go. I can feel her wrapping around her, so I know where her arm was. That's where my hand goes. If she pushed heavy on my hand, I'm going to push heavy on it. If she pushes here, I'm going to push here. It doesn't matter, right? I'm okay with any one of those, right? I'm not going to push her, right? But if she wants heavier contact and doesn't feel the lightness that I prefer, I'm okay with that. It just doesn't matter to me, right? So mirror her, right? If you feel that she needs that sort of touch, give it. I mean, that's kind of our role in tango, is to give the thing that that person needs to be able to hear what's in our head, right? That's our role.
It's all about the conversation.
And the conversation is a two-way street, not me speaking. So I will find a way to find what she needs in her head for her to hear my ideas, and the vice versa, right? To hear what's in her head so I can understand what she wants to do, right? And that's always the context. So I am never coming up and saying, do this, right? And eventually it gets into be the moves and everything, right? You're figuring out that together, right? So the lightness, we did approach it very light because I wanted you to get that stretch in here. But you can do that totally with a full embrace, right? We can do a full embrace, put your elbow down, and do a pressure here, right? So we can still do that sort of a, I'm still very tightly connected here, right? But you can feel my sort of embrace of moving back and forth. I'm never going to do that.
Right.
I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to say we're going to go, but I'm still right. You see, I'm still tightly connected.
Yeah.
If she wants this, I'm going to give her that.
Right.
But I'm not going to pull.
Still don't got to pull. That's the answer on that one.
Yep.
Good.
Okay, good. That's it.
Thank you.